to pray. There's no angels where I go, only pieces that are broken, scattered dreams across the floor. I'm home.
Alrighty, hello everybody, this is Kira's show here. Now then, whenever we last left off, Deku and, well, Todoroki, they had just heard that they have another person going to, or well, attending UA. However, both these two have rejected the offer of the recommendations. Now then, we had just broke for lunch, as we will pick up there. Deku and Todoroki, they are both eating at a table. As Mama would walk over, she would ask if she can talk to them for a minute. As she would sit down, she begins to talk with them, asking them exactly why are they just gonna throw away the recommendation. Well, you see, it's actually quite simple. As Todoroki just opened her mouth, saying that they don't like their parents. They never really have. I don't get along with my dad, and he doesn't get along with his. So, well, it's quite simple. If we get in like that, then we're just showing them that, hey, we are still listening to you. So we're going to do this a bit different. Okay, but that still doesn't explain it. Well, I don't really think we need to explain ourselves. As she would just somewhat stare her down for a second. Deku would just say that she needs to calm down. Listen, our dads have been pushing us and, well, trying to train us different ways. It's a bit extreme and, well, yeah. It has not turned out well for either of us. So, we're trying to do this on our own. Now then, the day would eventually be over, and Deku and Todoroki are walking home. They are actually heading over to Deku's house. As the gravity chamber, it is free right now. Deku's dad has somewhat gotten a better schedule. All Might, he's been able to somewhat fix his sleep schedule and get things in order. As Deku and her are leaving. Now, while that's going on, let us cut over to All Might. And exactly what has he been up to in the past 2 years. All Might has been trying to find a good way to explain this to Midoriya. He knows Midoriya has seen All for One, but he hasn't really tried talking about it. Why is that? I still need to... No, he's not ready. As All Might's trying to figure this all out. David's new machine has helped him, and, well, that's good. He's been able to get more sleep and not have these nightmares. But, well, it's a bit difficult. Sleeping, well, you're basically dependent on this machine whenever you have it. It can keep you asleep for as long as you need it to, and, well, it's also hard, since it requires a breathing mask and a more complicated setup. Now, Deku, him and Todoroki, they would have arrived home. Or, well, at Deku's house, as they would begin to train. Deku, he would go out into the gravity chamber, as she is trying to explain, or, well, figure out a good way to figure out if they can help that girl. Her quirk's quite useful, yes, but she's a bit weird. As Deku would walk back in, asking her if she's coming or not. To which she would walk into the gravity chamber with Deku. Deku would be ready as these two spar in around 20 times the 30 Earth's gravity. And they would be working their way up. Until Todoroki, she would take a rest. And Deku does a little bit of training on his own. as he increases the gravity to around 100 times, and he is able to hold the Kaioken for an extended period of time, as he's actually able to bring it up to times 20, and he even once pushed himself to times 25, something that he didn't know possible. Now, eventually All Might he would arrive home as Todoroki. Now, Todoroki, she would try and warn Deku that All Might just arrived, as he is walking through the house. He sees Deku's backpack and, well, everything that's going on. He sees that there's someone outside, so he decides to walk out there. Todoroki, she decides that she needs to hide, so she would just go walk around the machine and hide back there. Since this machine does not take up the entire side of the backyard, you can still get behind it and try and perform maintenance on it if it ever breaks, so that's at least good. As All Might would see that Deku, he is in the gravity machine, and he's actually pushing himself in training, as he sees his son doing push-ups in there and actually doing one thing, as he would bring his legs upwards and be able to try and stretch, or at least work on movements. All Might being in shock, as Deku he would finally look at him and see exactly who it is. Now then, as soon as that happens, All Might he would just watch as Deku drops out of Kaioken, and he immediately just has his hands smashed down into the ground. As Deku, he would just stare at his dad for a second before he tries to get back up. Doing so, he would just kick his leg into the emergency release, and the gravity would turn off. As All Might would just walk in saying that he knew it. He has been training. So, are you ready to start using your quirk? You mean your quirk? Huh? Listen, I'm training my quirk, not yours. So don't get the wrong idea. Well, that's not what I mean. Listen, I just need to talk to you for a minute. As Deku just turned to him. Really? You want to talk with me now? How many times have I asked to talk and you've been busy? As All Might would just say that that's not it right now. Listen, this is about your mother. What's wrong with Mom? As Deku would just look away. His heart is beating very fast. He doesn't know if it's just the training or if it's going to be bad news. To which All Might would just say that she's woken up. As Deku would turn, his eyes widening, asking when. She woke up yesterday, but they said to just let her take it easy for now. Now, I was going to go visit her. I suggest you go too. As Deku would just turn, saying that if you wanted to visit her, you're just going to freak her out more. Listen, I thank you for telling me at least. You're welcome, but there's another matter I want to discuss. As All Might, he just brings his hands up, and he's very nervous. Deku actually seeing that they're shaking. That's weird. The only time I've ever seen that man shake is whenever he mentions Grand Trainer or that figure that he says he's going to mention. As All Might would just say that you need an explanation on the man in the mask. As All Might watches as Deku, his hands actually do twitch at that name. Deku just turns asking if he knows exactly who that man is. Yes, I do. Sadly, however, this is not going to be good news. As the two would sit down for a second, Deku taking in water, drinking it while All Might tries to get the explanation. All for one. The man that he tried to defeat before he was born, so that they can try and live a somewhat normal life. Then, something happened. Around your first birthday, or well, A year later, I started having a dream. To which Deku would just turn asking what dream. Well, not a good one. It was bad. It involves quite a bit of things. Especially you and Inko. You two usually get hurt. And it's never easy. I was having that dream a lot, and it started happening more and more. But I eventually kind of cracked and told David. You kind of rely on that man for a lot, don't you, Dad? A little bit. But he was able to make me something. And it's been working. I've been able to stay on my feet for longer than just a couple hours now. I was wondering why you fixed your sleep schedule. Or even how. Yes, well, another thing. One for all. That quirk is very, very dangerous. I understand. I get it. It just took me longer than I thought. Listen, I'm finally talking to you about this. I forgot to explain this to you. And I feel like now is the perfect time. I believe you're old enough to know this now. To which All Might would give a full rundown. All for one killing his former master, and then All Might beginning to train, as soon as he found out Inko was pregnant, so that he can try and take down All for One. Deku exactly realizing how he got that injury now and why this is all happening. Along with somewhat trying to put a piece together. The nightmares and visions, they're not only his thing. It's his dad. And from what he's heard from the doctors, Inko's had one before. So, that's not good. As All Might, he would try and, well, give Deku a hug, or try and at least hold his hand out to him. Deku at least acknowledging this. Usually he would have just stared at it or at least try and smack it away, but this time he does at least shake it. So it was at least a friendly gesture. Now, All Might would just say that that should be it for now. Well, I also did notice that you didn't take my recommendation. Why would I need it? Well, I just thought. I think we both knew how this was going to turn out, Dad. I wasn't going to take it in the first place. Besides, you got into UA the same way I plan on getting into UA. How about I try and beat your score? As Deku would somewhat smirk. This didn't sound playful, however. It sounded a bit more serious. Now, this is whenever Deku, he would just stand up walking outside, looking around and walking towards a corner. As he just says that, he doesn't really see why. Why haven't you explained this before? Well, I just thought I wanted to wait till you were ready to properly train you, but these things, they're messing with my head. Have you been getting headaches, nosebleeds, anything out of the ordinary? Deku's saying no. No, he hasn't. But that doesn't matter now. Please just leave me to train. Alright, well, I'm going to go visit your mother then. To which Deku, he would go to open his mouth. But before he can, this is when Todoroki should have grabbed his hand, and asked Deku to look to see it. He would turn his head to see her as she would just bring her hands up. As Deku would just stop, All Might turning and leaving. As soon as All Might gets out of the front door, out of view of Deku, he somewhat slumps down to the ground, as he brings his hands up to his head, thinking that he finally did it. He finally ripped off the band-aid, although it was harder than he ever thought. If he's gonna have his son know about all these things, it's best to have it done now. He was stupid before. He should have told them about this earlier, not just now. He should have let Inko know properly that these were a thing. Maybe if he did, then she wouldn't be like this. As Alma would leave for the hospital, Todoroki, she would come out from behind the machine and ask Deku exactly what just happened. All for one? Yeah. As Deku would somewhat rummage through his bag, pulling out what looks to be a book with a lock on it. She would just ask if that's his diary, to which he would say no, it's a journal. I've been trying to piece this together. Besides, if I had this book unlocked, people might think I've gone crazy. As he would open it and Todoroki would see a lot of different drawings. A mask, a man floating, and a battle, along with one of his dad. Along with the picture Deku's drawn before that she's gotten a glimpse of. She would see it clearly now. Whatever this picture is of, it's clearly something attacking him. As she would just ask, okay, so, well, what about this? As Deku would just flip through the pages, showing her what he, basically it looks to be a bit of a board. He's had these nightmares and dreams. The man in the mask, he's connected to whatever this man is. He's known about his dad's injury, so it may stem from there. Basically like a whole mystery novel, or indoor saga. And Deku would be a bit conflicted. As he does one thing. He says that he vowed never to use this, but if his dad couldn't beat this villain, then he needs to see for himself if he can. As Todoroki would watch his arm somewhat spark for a second, before Deku just shakes it away, saying, "But does that go against my? Does that go against this? I mean, how do I even? Shit!" As Deku basically connects the dots through all of these. Apparently, these dreams are connected to a villain. And, well, his theory about it being a person with a quirk is more and more plausible now. So someone's been haunting his family, along with him and his dad. Now then, the day would pass and Todoroki would have eventually gone home, as Deku would call her the next day. The next day after school, Deku, he seems to be a bit nervous and, well, off-putting. Since he's basically hasn't been talking and just staring at his hands all day. As he's trying to think about this. If his dad has tasked him with beating this villain, then does he use the power? This man hurt his mom, and he knows that he hurt his dad. Damn it. Well, I should work on the Kaioken then, or at least focus on it. If I can get better control over my quirk first, then I can try getting a handle on this one. As Todoroki would somewhat shake him out of it. She would ask exactly if they're going to go by the hospital today. Deku saying yes, as school would be over and they would leave. Deku would walk in to the hospital as certain medical staff take notice of him. As he would walk up to the third story and go through a door, finding his mom on the other side. She would turn her head as she just stares at him for a second, before blankly looking away. And Deku would walk over, asking if she's okay. To which she doesn't really respond. Deku would just be asking her questions and trying to get an answer out of her. But that's not even working. As someone from the medical team would just walk in, asking what is he doing here. He's not supposed to be in this room. As Deku would turn, the woman seeing the scar and his face. Who are you? My name's Midoriya Izuku. As Inku's face, she would actually turn, showing an expression as she grabs Deku by the arm. Deku would turn to see this as the woman would walk over and grab Inku, trying to pull her off of Deku, as Deku just asks what's wrong over and over again. Inku not really being able to speak. Now then. After that happens, Deku would try talking to her, as the one from the medical team would just say that they kinda haven't been able to get any response out of her. That was the first one in a long time. As Deku just asked one more question. If that's the first one, then what happened yesterday? Hmm? Well, my dad came by, didn't he? I'm sorry, you must be mistaken. What? No, I'm sure he came by. He didn't. As Deku just starts arguing about this. He thought for a second they had the pieces put back together. But there they go again. He put one piece in just to take another one out. As Todoroki would somewhat try calming Deku down. As he would just ask, okay, what about your mom? Do you know where she is? Well, hmm. As she just walks over to a desk asking for Rei Todoroki. The woman would say that she's not actually here. She got transferred. Hmm? Really? I wasn't aware of that. Yeah, they had to make a different place for her. As they would be talking, getting the information they need, and heading back to school the next day. As Todoroki tries hunting down her mom. And Deku tries to talk to his dad about this. Not really getting any response, as that is how the first month of the 10 months would go. Now then. After around that time, Deku hears about a bit of an incident. His dad had to save some kid. So, well, that was at least great, I think. But there's no time on that. Deku begins to try and train on his own for a bit. As whenever he does tell it to Todoroki, she's a bit confused by it, saying that he can try and figure things out with his family while she can try and figure things out with her mom, okay? But hey, this isn't the end of this, okay? As he would give Todoroki a kiss. She would just say that that's fine, but exactly what now? Well, that Yayorozu chick, right? Now, they would be interrupted, as they were someone having this conversation at lunch. Now, this is whenever Momo would walk up, asking exactly, can she talk to them both? Todoroki, she would narrow her eyes for a second, saying exactly what does she want. Well, I kinda just had a couple questions. And I kinda do need a favor. As she would bring her hands up. Deku, he would be a bit confused by this, but eventually they would be talking. And she would pull these two aside and ask them if she can give if they can give her a hand. She's been trying to figure out something, and she thinks that they might be able to help her. What do you need? Well, I'm trying to... My dad, he's working on some technology, and well, it's a bit confusing. They are experimental and they're kind of a bit of a cooperation with David Shields. Okay, and why is this our problem? Well, they're kind of an add-on for the gravity machine. Okay, and please, I need your help. I know that you two have them at your guys' house. Okay. Why exactly should we help you, though? Well, I mean, I can help you two get an EUA. How? We're going to be going through the written portion and the physicals exam in a couple months. Well, that's just it. You two seem so physically capable that you might not be studying very well, right? Well, I mean, she kinda does have a point. So what? We're just gonna let her help us like this? No, how about this? As Toru could walk in front of her saying that she has a bit of a challenge. She has to be able to take 20 times Earth's gravity before the end of the month. Then she has her permission to stick around. But I've never used one of those machines. Better get to learning. As she would just say that meet her at her house. Okay, well, you two have fun. As Toru could just bring up her hand, saying that enjoy time with your dad. I know I won't. As that is how that conversation will go. Now then, that is going to be where I leave this part off of, guys. I do hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah. If this part seemed a bit weird, just know that it's been a bit chaotic today.